Alright, I'm going to make this quick little video on the Adventure Spec Mini Fairing and the KLX250 or 300. If you ever wondered if it actually fits, and the answer is no. There's a little bit of modification to do in order to get it to work, and it's not really that difficult. I will put it together the way that it comes and show you how it actually fits on the KLX250. So let me throw it together real quick. Alright, essentially it'd be like this, except for there would be two bolts here, but I'm not going to put those in. This is just for demonstration. Alright, so this is how it would fit. There's not a whole lot of room for it to, it would be sitting like this, down in your dash, up against your display. The KLX has this really large kind of cowl area that just, it's not designed for. If you had, you know, the other bars that don't have this pad here, you could tilt it up, but even then it would be way too far forward. And as you can see, people have complained that you can't even get in there to turn the key on or hit any of the buttons. So it just is not practical in this configuration the way that it comes. It's designed for, you know, more enduro style bikes, I think, you know. Just the way that this is basically exactly how it would be bolted up. And there's a little bit of adjustment, and these are slotted holes, so there's a little bit of adjustment, but really none of that matters because it is right up against the screen of your, you know, your instrument cluster, and so not really practical. So, but we can make it work, and I'll show you what you need to do. I'll take it back apart. So these mount on here like this, and using these two holes. And as you can see, this third hole in the middle, I drilled that hole. So basically all I did was measure between the two and then mark a hole and drill an equal distance between the two. And we're going to take this hole that's mounted up here, and we're going to move the bracket all the way back to here. And so let me do that. And I bought this not knowing if this fits on a KLX. I like the idea of having some type of wind protection, although it doesn't give you that much of wind protection, but it's some, but you know, it's not like a full windscreen. Now they do make this, you know, front cowling thing in clear, but really it's a little bit more expensive, and I figured it probably wasn't as durable. And also, you can see over this thing anyway, so it doesn't really need to be clear. Now they call this is kind of a universal fit type of application, although I think they could have done a little bit better, you know, giving you some more options, like I said, more holes to use, or, you know, different ways to mount it. So leave these a little loose at first, and then what we're going to do, so now this is mounted down here. Now this is way too far out, but that's okay because we're going to fix that. So this pushes this all right, that pushes it way higher up, and now it clears the screen and everything, and it's a lot more adjustable. You can pivot it however you want and then tighten it up. So once you get the clamps in there, not only that, is there's now this room in here is way larger, so you can easily get to your key and see your gauge just fine. And then it's really nice because now when you're on your bike, the GPS or your phone or whatever you decide to mount up here is right up here in plain sight. Before, I had mine mounted down here, and it was like right here, but it was still like I had to look down, yeah. So I suggest just tightening this up enough where it still moves a little bit, mounting it on here, and just leaving it. This will still be able to pivot, and then you can get your final adjustment however you want it. I rode around like this and just figured out how I wanted it, and then you can now what we're going to do is drill a hole in the plastic arm, and we are going to put in the last bolt. So I already marked where I wanted it. I just kind of had it on there, fine-tuned it, and once I got it where I wanted it, I marked it through this hole from the other side, and I'm going to drill a hole there and put the final screw in there, and that'll kind of keep it locked in place. One thing I like about this setup is it's really easy to take on and off just by taking it, you know, the bar clamps off, and you know, you can mount switches and stuff. I have my heated seat and grip switches mounted somewhere else. I don't think I'm going to mount them on this, just because then there would be no way for me to take this back off. But I think if I had a 12-volt plug here, which I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put a 12-volt plug here, and then I'm going to use this cable here that is what I use to charge my battery. So this is run straight to my battery, and then I'll plug this into the back of my 12-volt and have a 12-volt socket there. That's kind of my plan with that. Alright, so we've drilled our hole in here, and we marked and drilled another hole in here, and so you will still have a little bit of adjustment with this big slotted hole up here. This hole will probably be more of a pivot point. Let's go ahead and put it together all the way. I mean, it's pretty much kind of vertical. And that's kind of what it will end up looking like. And it does look pretty tall, but when you're sitting on it, you actually see over it quite well. One nice thing is you could kind of tuck behind it in the wind if you need to. You could even tip it, you know, whichever way you want. And as far as mounting here, I originally used this little bracket that it came with that mounts, you know, in the middle there. But what I found was for the GPS that I'm currently using, which is just the Oregon 550, this mount required me to use, you know, a ram mount ball like this, and then the small ram arm, which was nice because I could pivot it wherever I wanted, but it kind of brought it closer to my face, which I didn't like. So I just used one of this hole here, and then I had to drill this hole out a little bit bigger in order to get my mount here to fit. So now it just kind of, let's see if I can do it, drops in there like that. All right, so turn it on. There's my map. Yeah, that works out pretty good. And actually what I use quite often is the trip computer and the speedometer, because the speedometer down here on the KLX is quite a bit off, especially the faster you go. So that works out pretty good. And then, like, if I wanted to, I could mount my phone right here. That's perfect. I think I'll tighten these down just like that. It'll be, yeah, this will be pretty much straight up and down.